Hey, what's going on, everyone? We're going to be doing some accounting today. So this was a requested video on accrued revenue, and this was exercise 6.6. So I want to go through the process of accrued revenue. We're going to talk through the calculations and all the numbers. Now, I'll be, just a heads up, using my digitextbook because I may have left the physical textbook at home, at school, sorry. Whoops. And so my screen's going to get very cluttered. I'm just giving you a heads up there. Without further ado, let's start. And alright, so let's bring up the exercise. So you can see here, exercise 16.6. If we zoom in on the book, we see it is on, page 435. I'm just gonna see if I can get the slight zoom. I'm just gonna make this bigger. Do it that way. Alright, on March the 1st, 2025, Diana's Delicacies invested $50,000 in a 10-year term deposit at a fixed rate of 12% per annum. Interest revenue is directly credited to the firm's bank account in equal installments on the last day of May, August, November, and February. I'm just going to close the door there. This is verified by the bank statement. Balance date is the 30th of June 2025. So if you don't know what a term deposit is, I'm about to give you the very, very quick summary. A term deposit is essentially you give the bank X amount of money for however long, and they give you interest revenue. But they keep that money and you can't touch it for that time. So you earn money off it, but you can't use the asset or your own money. So that term deposit would be a non-current asset because you get benefit from it, but you're not going to get the full benefit for the 10 years. So it's a way to invest. And they earn that 12% interest. So it is interest revenue. Now, in the income statement, interest revenue would go at the bottom below. It would go in the other revenues column after you've done all the adjustment for gross profit. I think there's a cat in the room. So we're going to work through this. So we've got A, which is calculate the interest revenue received on the 31st of May. So that will be for March, April, May, 3 months. Then you've got to calculate the accrued interest from 31st of May to the 30th of June. So that's 1 month. And then we have to record the balance day adjustments for the year ended, no duration. And then we got to do our general ledger entries for Diane Delicacies as at the 30th of June after all closing balance entries would have been completed. And E, record the received interest in the general journal, so that'll be on the 31st of August. And then F, explain why only some interest received on the 31st of August should be reported as revenue. So a little bit of theory, a lot of practice. This is a really good example of how to do accrued revenue. So again, I'm going to go step by step through this. So I'm going to move the textbook. We're going to move the textbook and we're going to make this big. And we're going to work through this. So I'm just going to note that did not help one iota. Alright, so which is going to be, I'm going to be moving windows around. I think I need a third monitor. So A, calculate the interest revenue received on the 31st of May. Well, I'm just going to change the size of this. Oh, sorry. There we go. That still works actually. Calculate the interest revenue received on the 31st of May. So we're going from March 1 to the 31st of May. So we go March, we go April, we go May. That's 3 months. That 3 is important. So we would go 50,000 multiplied by 12% multiplied by 3 over 12 because it is 12% per annum, so you need to multiply it by however many months it is. If it was for the whole 12 months, then you would ignore this, but we don't. So let's get the calculator up. That's going to be our next bit. I'm going to be using the calculator just to get these sums up. So 50,000 multiplied by 0.12, that's 6,000. 6,000 multiplied by 3 over 12. Now, you would recognize 3 over 12 as 1/4. So we'll go directly to the answer, and it'll be 1,500. So let's have a look. We go 6,000 divided by 12, so divide by 12, will give us 500 per month. So this is just me here. 500 per month. Honestly, I would say you only need to do up to here. I'm doing 500 per month. Now, if it's 500 per month times 3 months, it'll give us 1,500. So that's the interest revenue received every quarter. So in those 3-month blocks. So the March to May, great. June to August, great. September to November, great. December to February, great. All 1,500, 6,000 per year. But we've divided into quarters, or 3 over 12. So 500 per month. 3 times 3 will be 1,500. So how do we do the accrued interest revenue? So calculate the accrued interest revenue as at 30th of June. So all you need to go is 1 month between, where was it? Between 31st May and 30 June. 1 multiplied by, where's my dollar sign? There's the dollar sign. 500 will give you, I'm just going to go per month. And month, that will give you an accrued interest revenue of 500. So that's the reason I put that 500 per month here. If you really want, you could even just copy it here and double. I don't think there's anything wrong with doubling up on information here. I think that works out really cleanly. I'm just going to zoom in on this for you guys as well. Just we'll get a bit closer. So that's A, that's B done. If you need that, just make sure you pause. So let's do C. Record the balance day adjustment of accrued interest revenue for the year ended 30th of June 2025 in the General Journal of Diane's Delicacies and Narration, not being required. So 30th of June. Now, thing to note here is they have earned this revenue, but they haven't, again, they've earned the revenue, but they haven't received it. So that's an asset, because they're getting a future economic benefit in the cash they would receive. Very similar to accounts payable. So if you spell it out, you'll see, oh yeah, that is accounts receivable. Okay? So, we go accrued interest revenue. Now, this is an asset. You don't need to write this here. I'm just doing that to just make the point a bit further. It is an asset. If you want to go really big, you go current asset. That can also help. And obviously the debit will be interest revenue, obviously being the revenue. Oh, it does that. Oh, it fixes that. And then we just go 500, because we're just recording this amount. Okay? So that's all that goes in there. So that's how our general journal will look. So D, show how the interest revenue and accrued interest revenue accounts would appear in the general ledger of Diane's Delicacies as at the 30th of June 2025 in the general journal. I've lost my train of thought. I've got the cats yipping in around the background. You probably can't hear them. So we'll go D again, sorry. Show how the interest revenue and accrued interest revenue accounts would appear in a general ledger, of Diane's Delicacies as at the 30th of June after closing and balancing entries have been made. We got there. So all I need to do is put C into here. That's all I need to do. So First things first, let's do the interest revenue. Now we go 30 June. We go 30 June. Why is it centered? Should not be centered. I dislike that. I dislike that a lot. So accrued interest revenue. Huh. Accrued interest revenue, 500. Now, we are closing this off on the 30th, so we need to close revenue accounts. And how do we close off revenue accounts? Obviously, it is the P&L summary. 500, it's 500, and it's 500. That's it. It's closed off. Don't need to do anything else. That's the interest revenue account done. Huzzah. Now, have I missed anything? Let's think about it. Let's have a look at the book. Balance day is on the 30th of June, right? Balance day is on the 30th of June. We had 3 months before that. So we would need to include this interest revenue here. So what we need to do is move this down. And then go on the 31st of May and go 31 May bank, because that goes straight into the bank, 1,500, and suddenly our P&L summary is going to be 2,000. Because don't forget, you need to read closely. You need to make sure you include everything, because show how the interest revenue would appear in the general ledger as at the 30th of June. Okay, so just a little bit of awareness there. Now, if we go down, we do the accrued interest revenue. We just need to put it in there. And so we go 30th of, what? 30th of, damn it. There we go, 30th of June. I got it, yeah. And we go interest revenue 500. We're going to be closing this off. So we go 30th of June and we go balance 500, bold 500, bold 500, and we go 1 July balance 500. I feel like I'm writing 500 a lot, but that is actually how it displays. I've got to write 500 5 times. So, you know, that's how it works. So, if we have a look at our, there we go. If we have a look at E now. E, record the receipt of interest on the 31st of August 2025 in the General Journal of Diane's Delicacies. So, the next payment is on the 31st of August. They receive the full amount in the bank. The full amount being 1,500. That goes in their bank account, 1,500 every quarter. So bank, 1,500. But what is that made up of? So it's not all interest revenue, because remember, the accrual assumption states interest earned in the specific period is recognized in that actual period it occurred in, not we include it when we like. So that means 500 of this was already earned prior to the reporting date. So our first credit will be accrued interest revenue, and it will be $500. The rest was earned in those 2 months of July and August, and then it's paid to the business, and that is interest revenue. That is how that works. Okay? So this closes off the asset. That is no longer an asset. We have earned this. Okay? So in our income statement, we would only put $1,000 if we were doing one at the end of August. The accrued interest revenue, we would have no asset there, okay? So we go receipt of interest from term deposits, and you would go for June to August 2025, or something like that. So that's all you need to put. 31st of August, you just put the dates in. So if you're unsure of that, please do ask my help in class tomorrow when I play this, because it will go a long way. F, explain. Yeah, I did. Sorry. Explain why only some of the interest received on the 31st of August 2025 should be reported for the year ended 30th of June 2026. So essentially it's what I've just said. So the reason the reason that some of the revenue or some of the amount received on August 31 August 2025 is not recognized as revenue for the year ended 30th of June 2026 is because that interest revenue was earned in the previous month or previous period, and then you can really just get the creme de la, like the creme de la creme, and you could go, this goes against the accrual assumption because so this would go against the accrual assumption, that should be capitalized, because this stipulates that revenue earned in a particular period is recognized in that actual period. And that's where that would fit in, and you could just tie in numbers if you needed to, okay? So that's how 16.6 looks. 16.6, really good example of accrued revenue. Now, if you can get your head around this, I think the next step is to potentially look at unearned sales. So I'll do a walkthrough. My next video for U12 will be the unearned sales, and we'll go from there. So, as always, please like, please share. If you've got friends who do accounting and you know they're struggling with it, help them out. Be like, hey, check out this guy. He's doing some good stuff. Goes a long way. And, hey, you get first access to this, so you guys are lucky. Anyway, on that note, please study hard. Please get the coursework done. Please ask questions. Please ask for help. And please stay safe and look after each other. See ya. Oh, wait, no, that's broken. Hold on, sorry. Now I'll go. All right, see ya.